He's got a drip mark on mine. I got a hole in us. We're not looking like a good team right now.
Hey, we threw this together.
This guy's passed out.
We really threw this together. One of our teammates couldn't even make it to the game.
You want to take those shots first?
Oh, yeah. Shots? JP with the shots, brother.
Wait, hold on. So he killed 2 people?
Yes.
Average dad doing an average shit.
Man, what's up, Sleepy?
You missed the whole pod. Go back to sleep.
That dude's bringing pans to fight. That's crazy.
Tyler Chrome unleashed.
One for you, brother.
Hello, brother.
And 2 for me.
Much better childhood memories than corkball on Dickinson. You saw it here first on Chrome Unleashed.
Caught a paparazzi, 2 phones in my pocket, talking. Yeah, I got it. Black card in my wallet. If I want it, then I cop shotgun, ride shot it. I don't need nobody.
They're good ships. They're wood ships. They're ships to sail the sea. But the best ships are friendships, and may they ever be.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
Hold on, listen to this.
What's up?
I walk into the kitchen. This man is making mixed drinks with Casamigos, and he's walking away from the fridge with my daughter's apple juice.
This man's stealing the kids' drinks.
Juice, maybe mix it in with a splash of Mountain Dew just for a little sparkle.
For a sparkle, he said.
With, mind you,
Average dad doing unaverage shit.
that is not an ad.
Ooh, that was crisp. Just to get us rolling, very simple, but I think it'd be interesting, right? We got Brett, who's passed out over here. For yourself, for me, for Eric, and for Jordan, who's not in here either.
R.I.P.
If we were a color, what color would we be and why?
All right, so
That's a pretty thought-provoking question.
That is definitely a thought-provoking question. You know, oddly enough, I was going to give me green. Not only because I love green. That's been my favorite
green,
color.
though? What green?
Not this green. This is like forest green. I'm going more of a
Kelly green? Like a bright Kelly green?
like a earthy kind of earthy notes. You know,
Like between Kelly and Hunter green?
I'm not too sure what.
Oh, you don't know this? Kelly's like bright green.
It's not this green.
Bright.
Are you like an olive and like an olive colored green?
Not that green either. You know,
Not bright neon.
this.
green.
I like this green.
Like an olive colored green.
Like a sage. Like a
And
sage-ish?
honestly, I read somewhere yesterday, literally yesterday, that green gives off of like certain frequencies of happiness. I don't know what it was, but it had a whole list of stuff, and I was like, interesting. So that matches the green perfectly. But also, I think just in general, I don't know why my Italian side just likes that color of green. Okay. I think it just goes, you know, with skin tones and all
Y'all
of
say
that.
you have olive skin. and
Yes,
everything?
yes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where the earthiness comes from. So I was gonna say green for me, but you give me huge green vibes, and I think that's why we.
So what's his green?
I pick up the same
Similar?
green. He's not in college. He was that green. So now he's more of
This
green.
one. This green.
Now he's more of this green. It's just more of a calm down, more mature green. But I was gonna give that, but I can't give away my color, so I think we both have that. I don't know if you're gonna like this or dislike this one.
I don't feel like there's
All
a-
right,
it
so
can't be a wrong answer.
you're not a purple, but you are.
Start off with not.
Look,
I'm not a
you're somewhere in here.
purple.
And the reason why I
That man
picked
said
that,
purple.
the reason why I picked that, you asked the question. That's what popped in my head for you.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer, first of
There's
all.
no wrong answer.
That's what popped in my head for you. And the reason why I choose that is because
This one you said.
Like
it's not
like
it's
a blue
it's
purple.
a more masculine purple, if you will, because I think you carry a masculine vibe, but also I think you have a very soft side. Jordan and orange. Is it green and yellow makes orange?
Red and yellow.
Okay, well that works well.
I think-
He's
I
too
think-
over the top and
Wait, hold on,
sometimes
hold
don't
on.
know when to fucking stop.
Hold on. Red and yellow. You can only make secondary colors out of primary colors. So orange is a secondary color, but is yellow a primary color? I know red is.
Red, yellow, blue.
Brett, gosh, he's giving me some camo color.
I've had someone.
Motherfucker's camo is shit.
All right, here, I'll go this way. I was going to give Jordan red because that motherfucker sees red quick.
Brightly.
Just
Cherry.
whatever kind of red, bro. That man will go 0 to 100 quick. Me, I like the green.
The green that JP chose.
Yeah, it'd be like a dark green. Deep green. Kind of like this.
Like the room.
Yeah. I like a green. I like a green vibe.
Okay.
For sure.
Me?
I give you like a mauve color, like this. It's like a earthy, neutral pink.
Okay.
It's called mauve.
Damn, that's too close to pink. That feels a little weird. Not gonna lie.
I think you have a soft side to you, like not a nurturing side. Very, faith driven. You have some things that are not so. No, and then you
Aggressive,
You do your
yeah.
roles, and you got your masculine side.
I think something.
Can't grow a full beard.
I can't either.
Hey,
for the record,
ain't nothing I
it's
can do
fine.
about that.
Because for me, first of all, I think it's a dope color. One, that's why I have shorts and shirts in this color. Two, it kind of fits in every kind of outfit. You can mix and match it in any way you want. So it's very versatile. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a pretty good fit for you because you tend to fit in any kind of scenario, and that's why you get along with so many different types of people, I think. You have a very wide range of friends.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
I agree with
so,
that.
like, you get along,
Definitely.
and you fit in a bunch of different circles. So I think it goes with a lot of things, bro. And you can wear it up, you can wear it down, you can wear it however you want. I like the color. That's why I'm wearing
yours
it.
for JP.
I was going to give JP a blue,
Okay, what blue?
like the one on his shorts. It's just it's kind of like a cool, calm, vibey color. I don't know, man. Well, for Brett, that's a hard one, bro. I give him like a tan. Like, where's his pistol at? It's right above his head. The color that's on his pistol is the color I give him, bro.
For Jordan, I'm going to go with the red.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense, dude.
Orange red.
That's not a bad. He's like up here sometimes, but he's not always there.
Somebody put a mic in Brett's face right now.
Brett's is probably going to be the most cliche for everybody. I mean, I feel like this man, like a Ranger green, like an Army green,
JP could slick also be a yellow.
I'm thinking like turquoise, like the island ocean water
I could see that.
turquoise.
You calling me an island boy?
Yeah, sure. My favorite color is navy blue. So biasly, like I pair myself with that color because it's always been my favorite color.
Really?
And I just think about it. Navy blue.
But we've been friends since we were 7. I did not know that your favorite color was navy blue.
Yeah, Jordan's favorite color is navy blue too. I didn't know that until like last year.
Really?
We've been, same thing.
Wow.
Friends our whole lives.
I did
but
not know
it's
that.
either that, but really what I think more of myself is like a really, really light gray, like a cool gray. Almost
Okay.
like something that's kind of
Chrome.
chrome-ish, but like just like a cool, chill, like when you see a football team have an alternate uniform and they
a
have
cool
like
gray.
a light cool gray with it. A lot of teams throw that in there.
Like the Tigers.
I feel-
Tigers do. The Memphis Tigers do,
I feel
yeah.
like that's slick, and it's always slick with like a variety of teams. Kind of like you saying, I can kind of fit in different situations. I feel like just I'm more cool and chill.
It's a versatile neutral color,
where,
bro.
yeah, it kind of reflects. Okay, and then for E,
The fact that they have commercials.
takedown.
Yes, bro, because like I know Dustin.
Code Chrome at checkout. I literally work with takedown.
Like that's my boy. That's my boy Morgan
For
right there.
MMA stuff.
That's Morgan.
That's dope.
Like
Eric
Morgan.
out here in Atlanta has connects, boy.
I don't really, but like that's super cool to see your homies on an ESPN commercial.
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
Facts, big facts. I feel like Eric's a yellow. I feel like
I can get down with a yellow, though.
You are you, and you're like you. Period. Especially when you were younger, and and I told you this before about you and your dad. Like y'all kind of influenced me in a certain way where I felt like y'all were like real confident and cocky in who you are as a person, and it kind of influenced me to be more that way.
I get down with that.
But I feel like a yellow is like bright, like I'm here, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Hey, I like
Kinda
yellow.
like that.
I like yellow.
Yeah, so that's why
I have no problems with the color yellow.
Tell me the first memory that comes to your head, okay? You're a kid and you're enjoying life. Like you love life. Everything's great. What memory comes to mind when you think that?
I think I have it, but that's why I was asking like what age you're talking about because like we played ball together when we were 7,
Yep.
and like before that
We won the championship, baseball.
we did,
Just putting it out there.
and Glenn was the coach.
Yeah.
Shout out Glenn.
My dad
Pops.
was one of the coaches.
We like before that I have spotty memories, but like I don't have like something that just burns into my brain. But then when you talk about after that, when we're a little bit older, like 8, 9, 10, you know,
still
like
say that's kid.
you know what I'm
That's still
saying?
kid.
Like when we get to that point, like some of the most fond memories I have are like getting your first dirt bike or getting your first four wheeler. You know what I mean? And I grew, and my dad teaching me how to ride those things, and then being able to like load that up in the truck, and then go and meet up with Brett and me and Brett and going and riding our four-wheelers and dirt bikes together and, doing stuff like that and running the neighborhood, just being kids, bro. Like, that shit was fun. And then if you want to get older with it, like kicking it at your house, like in Lakeland at the pool, doing the chill nights, stuff like that. Like, those are things that stick in my mind as like just memories growing up and being young and a kid. I don't know if you were looking for an answer that was maybe closer to like a family thing, but like.
No, just if anything, I was looking for more of a like when you were a young kid answer. But if you don't have that many memories from back then, and yours is more of like when you were like middle school, early high school, then that's fine too.
But you know what one of the youngest memories I have is, bro, I was like 3 years old and I dropped my pacifier at a Disney on Ice or some shit. And the only reason I remember that is because it was miserable, bro. I had a complete meltdown. Traumatic. Yeah, bro.
Trauma.
It was
PTSD,
traumatic.
some would say.
Me and Jordan going to sports care together,
yeah, that's a good
daycare.
one. Y'all talk a lot about that.
God, dude, causing trouble. That was like the story of my life as a kid growing up, just trouble. If there was like one word that like
Yeah, Eric was a troublemaker for sure.
that's like if you stamp one word over my childhood, it's just trouble, bro.
Bright green.
It's just
That was Eric's bright green era. When I was growing up, I had two younger sisters, but one of the sisters we shared the same mom, one we shared the same dad. The one that I shared the same dad with, we used to go to his house every other weekend because we had different moms, and so he had the typical dad custody after a divorce. So we'd go over there every other weekend, and he would take us to my grandparents. They had like a trampoline in the backyard, and they didn't have. It's not like they had a lot of money by any means, but they had a trampoline in the backyard, and they had this old in the ground like basketball hoop. I was the oldest of all my cousins, so it'd be me and like my 3 or 4 little cousins, and we'd be jumping on the trampoline. We'd jump up and dunk on the basketball goal. We put the trampoline under it. We put the sprinkler under the trampoline and jump over it and play games and whatever. Just goof off. And like I used to have more freedom at my dad's than at my mom's. So like my mom was super strict, and my dad would let me like ride my bike across town and go to the whatever, to go to my friend's house, go to the gas station, go whatever I wanted to do. So doing that stuff just felt like I had some freedom. That was like when I think of happy, was like playing on the trampoline in the backyard.
Oh, we were saving the deep for later.
Was that deep? That was deep?
No, just for me, I don't know. I think back on my childhood, and my childhood was pretty different than y'all's and most, but not by any means.
There's someone out there listening. This guy.
Yeah, no, not by any means worse than anybody else. I lived in a lot of chaos growing up. I lived in a lot of fighting growing up. So I to think back to a happy memory, you got to kind of dig deep. But I will say, touching on the whole dad aspect. So my dad, I think we saw him every other weekend, maybe one day and every other weekend. But he would play wiffle ball with us. So me and my 2 brothers. And so on Dickinson Street, we would play wiffle ball in the driveway. This is across the street from Little Flower. So there's like a little wall. I mean, maybe from here a little bit past that wall right there. And if you hit it over, you got a home run. So when we didn't have wiffle balls because we were broke, so we would take newspaper and duct tape it, or we would play with a wine cork because we had plenty of them. So we would throw a wine cork and either use a bat or a stick and play cork ball or wiffle ball. And those were always good times because some of the kids from the neighborhood, I mean, I guess those are the early, and they would come over, and next thing you know, we'd have a 6-person game going on, and then, just hang out and do kid stuff and run around. But, that might be
That's what you think of?
I mean, think about.
That's a good memory. That's a good memory. Like I didn't even have anything that good,
yeah,
bro.
That's digging. I mean,
But that was good.
Yeah. No, it definitely shaped little things. I will say this. All right, little things that I've caught from growing up that I notice now and as an adult, it all shapes you into who you are. Good times, bad times, and everything. So to sit here and say like, oh, dang, I wish those moments could have been better. Well, if those moments had been better, would I be where I'm at right now? going down the deep hole right now. So I keep that in mind. And yeah, I mean, so
I expected a good answer out of you only because you're a very thoughtful person. My grandma used to go to Millington and go to this place called the Strand. Every weekend. Family members, cousins, uncles, they all were very musically inclined. So some played the guitar, some played the drums, some could sing, whatever. The Strand was like an old, I guess, kind of theater. Like when you walk in the front doors, there was like a concession stand to the left, and you walk in 2 other door openings, and it was not stadium seating, but seating, and there was a stage. And they would play like country music or old music or whatever, and different people would come up on stage and sing with the same band in the background. So it's kind of like karaoke, but kind of not. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that. Dude, my grandma used to take me there every time she went. I have very fond memories of like going there as a kid. Like I would run across the stage. My Uncle Bob would be playing guitar, and somebody would be singing, and I'd run across the stage and slide across the stage on my knees.
Hyper Erick.
Yeah. Dude, it was, so like stuff like that. And yeah, RIP to the Strand. I think they demolished that building like a couple months ago, actually.
I love doing this stuff for many reasons. Even just like chilling, like if no one even cares to fucking watch this, us being able to watch this back in 20 years will be cool to me. So that's enough.
I think it's cool.
I think people we know too, if they know us well, our family at the very minimum will like.
I think it's cool.
Want to watch it, and then
Shout out to Blake. You're upstairs. You're 3 years old. You're in bed right now. Shout out to my kids, Luca, Mina.
Yeah, your kids. Your kids are in St. Thomas.
You're
right
8
now.
and 4 in St. Thomas right now.
On
Just
the
got
beach
back
somewhere.
from Italy.
Like what?
Much better childhood memories than corkball on Dickinson. Drake.
Mina, like little princesses going to sleep right now, sleeping away.
I swear, dude.
Okay, so completely away from the word princesses. Here's a question. So, it's hypothetical. About to get jumped by 5 people.
He had to make that real clear. Hypothetical.
Hypothetical, right? No one's planning on jumping you, JP.
For now.
Someone's about to jump you, 5 people, right? And you're where you live now. So you have to factor in that, like who lives around you and whatnot. Who do you call first, and why do you call them first?
I'm fucked. I live in Germantown. Ain't nobody in Germantown doing nothing.
You gotta call someone.
I'm calling JG.
That's your first. So you only pick one, so it's JG.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all
Justin.
I got? Well, fuck. You're in Texas. You're in Atlanta.
That's what.
Texas or Florida.
That's what I'm saying. Factoring in where everyone lives right now, because if we're all there, that's a different.
That's
story.
a given. Yeah, if we're all there.
Where you are right now in life, where you live, who do you call when you have 5 people around you about to jump you? There's no weapons, but you're talking about fighting them. Who do you call and why?
Do I have time? They're around me, so they're giving me one phone call. Do I get to go drive and pick them up?
It's a hypothetical, bro. So basically, if you got to snap your fingers and you have one person there with you, but
they
there's
pop
someone
up.
that could physically come to you, so they live around you. Who would it be?
They pop up instantly. Boom, they're there.
All right, this is probably
That's a big trust thing. Who do you trust to fight with you like that?
fight with me or just fight the fight. I'm calling Marco. What you talking about?
So
my
brother-
dishwasher, Marco, my dishwasher.
Okay.
My brother ain't fighting with me. I'm calling Marco, my dishwasher from Echo.
No, he said Marco.
Shout out to Marco. You ever seen? I got a video somewhere. This man. Do you got the video? Beating pans over his head.
Yeah, dude, I have seen that.
Dude, do you have the video?
I don't think I have it. No,
I
but
kid you not. I'm calling him every time somebody's about to jump.
dude, I
me.
think he dented that pan.
Marco is an indestructible human. He just got in like a terrible car wreck. They told him he might not be able to walk again. He was walking after like 3 weeks. He was like, I don't care, doctor told me. Like, it's absolutely mind blowing. Nobody.
Dude's bringing pans to fight. That's crazy.
Marco would take 5 pans. I don't know why. This is just his.
He
little
stacks
trick.
them, bro.
Yeah,
He
this is his
stacks
trick
them.
in the restaurant. He's our dishwasher, right? After he gets done washing some pans, he's bringing them back to the line. Boom, boom, just beating the shit out of his head.
His own head?
His own head, bro. Marco, look, you don't understand.
Yeah,
all right, we're about to get deeper. Y'all want to know why I'm calling on Marco? All right, Marco. Look, Marco at an early age was incarcerated. I mean, I want to say 13 or 14 was locked up for murder. at that age and was let out at like 16 and went back to jail for
Did he
murder.
do it? Did he do
This is
it?
the stuff that you find way too close to you when you live in
Did he
Memphis.
do it?
And that's why a lot of us have left Memphis.
He did it.
Did he do it?
He did it.
Okay.
He said he did it. One, I think both of them were in self-defense aspects. I don't know, but
Wait, hold on. So he killed 2 people?
yes.
Wait, Marco was crazy.
So he's got he's got 2 bodies.
That like show you.
He's got 2 bodies. He beats his head over his pans over his head with 5 pans. He's got 2 bodies, 5 pans. This man will not die.
So you're calling him for getting jumped by 5 people?
Jesus, Lord have mercy.
I also want to note he carries refrigerators by himself.
Who in Atlanta are you calling?
long
You're about
do
to
they
make
have?
someone feel really cool.
So I might call my wife, bro.
I understand that though, because you trust her to figure out something to help you.
My wife will also jack if she has to.
She'd bring a pistol or something.
She will jack if she has to, bro. I could call a Nuge. A Nuge is a crazy motherfucker. I could probably call him.
Well,
What do you-
mine's a little easier though because I live with one of our close friends in the same city.
Yeah, that's
I'll always
that's
call
cheating.
Jordan.
Yeah, that's
you know.
cheating.
And his color's red.
Yeah.
I'll call Jordan and his color's red.
He is red E.
Yeah, ready for that type of situation.
Hey, I'm not gonna
His
lie.
personality fits perfect with that.
I would call him if he was here as well. I would.
Yeah.
If I could call anybody, I'd call Brett.
Right. One vehicle, unlimited money for the one vehicle. What do you get?
Ford GT. Easy
And
peasy.
what do you do to it?
What do I do to it?
Anything specific? You
I
already
don't
know.
know. No, I want it just how it comes.
Ford GT. What year?
I like the. Man, that's what makes this question hard. But I think it'd probably be the late 2010s, probably like 2017, 2018, 2019, like that. The color, I want it ruby. They had a ruby red color. Like
Ruby red.
it was like a deep.
Racing stripes or no?
Yeah, it was like a
Racing stripes.
deep
White?
ruby red with white racing stripes.
Racing
Yeah.
stripes. What color rims? What are the rims?
They're like
Aftermarket
I think they're
or no?
black. No, I think they're black. I think you can get them black. I think
What color interior?
or carbon. They're like carbon fiber actually. I think
Interior.
that's a good question. I don't know. I think it's black maybe.
Unlimited money. Your pick.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
You can get you another
'cause,
mom
see,
car.
What goes through my head is I got kids. I haul around shit.
That matters.
Never owned a truck. I don't think I'm a truck guy.
I'm not really either, but I bought one because it's practical.
Yeah. You
That's
know
why I
what's
went with a car. I've got
practical?
unlimited
Trailer.
money on a vehicle. So if I got unlimited money on a vehicle, I'm getting it for a
All right,
sports
so
car.
I'm probably up there with I'm probably pushing a Cadillac Escalade V.
Okay, that's not a bad choice.
I mean, that's got the speed. That's got the.
What color?
I don't like bright colors. I would go. I'm either murdering it out like what I got, or going white.
Interior.
I like the kind of the leather grain, the tan. Yeah,
Tan leather.
yeah.
If you're gonna murder out a vehicle, the best way to do it is matte body with gloss accents and gloss wheels. That's the best way to do it.
I'll take that.
He'll take that. He said. I've went back and forth between F-150 and F-250, but
But you've got all the money in the world, and you're buying an
I'm not a
F-150.
materialistic person, bro. I don't. Have,
I know. You don't have to be materialistic, bro. But you've got literally unlimited funds on a vehicle, and you pick an F-150. That's like the most popular
I'm
truck
saying
in the
my
world.
dream thing. If I could have anything, one vehicle of anything, do it exactly how I want. It's. I mean, it's not like anything ridiculous. That's just what I would want. But what are you saying? Like, make it more of a like. Hey, you can get an F-150 with what you make already. So like.
Yeah,
different-
yeah. That's kind of how I think about it.
Well, I don't know that I've thought about that enough, but I'll try to answer it.
And let's just hypothetically say that your answer sticks as F-150, decked out, however you want, wheels, tires, lift, level, whatever. Right? Let's just put this into perspective. The car that I listed between 1.2 and 1.7. Your car that you listed, you can get that right now for like fully done for like 150. The one that you're topping out at like 100.
All right, but
I'm over here.
Hold on. You're going off the wall. You're not thinking about carrying Blake around. You ain't thinking about carrying your household materials around. You're being selfish right now.
Who's?
So if you got
Hold on.
hold on. You got to think about this.
Man took the
Hold on. Before
I did. I took the bait because I got a wife. We got a household. That is not the only vehicle.
It's a super nice Denali, souped up. You already have that. You keep it. What do you get then? I like Bugattis.
This is a tough question, especially if
look
you're not a car
badass.
person. You know what I mean? This is a tough question if you're not a vehicle person.
Yeah.
But like me, I love vehicles. I love cars. So I know all kind of shit.
Somewhere, I mean, I might throw out a Ferrari, but like.
But like you could get like a McLaren 720P.
But see, I saw a McLaren in church the other
Bro,
day.
I don't
Yeah,
even
but
know.
not a 720P, dude.
Top than 10% too if you're watching this.
Big facts.
Hey,
I
but
don't
that's
even-
not a 720P though.
I can't even tell you what McLaren, Ferrari, Bugatti, Lambo. I can't even tell you like the order of like what's supposed to be like the best or whatever because I just don't.
That is
look at
tough.
Any of
That is a tough. Even
For
if you're a
me-
decent car guy, that's tough.
You answered the way you were first thinking about it.
Yeah.
I answered the way I didn't really fully answer, but it would have been like F-150, the limited, like the highest, version, and like subs and lifted and rims, and I'd wrap it in a
Oh, that's a good question.
A satin chrome wrap where it's not like the mirror chrome, not too flashy, but like the dulled out like chrome look wrap, and whatever like. Ish.
That's a good
It looks
question.
nicer than that, but ish. Okay, so we got all of our homies, right? We're like kind of all in one place right now, visiting Erick and ATL. If you could snap your fingers and all of us be in one place, which state and which city would we be in? And would you have all of us on like a compound where we all live on the same land in some type of way? Would you have us in one neighborhood? Would you have us just close by where we could drive to each other? How would you set it up? If you could set it up perfectly, however you want.
I can answer this question pretty quickly.
Okay.
In a perfect world, we would, if we were all in the same place, we would be. I think it'd be dope to all be in Florida. Personally, I think that'd be cool.
By the
I will
beach.
say that I was thinking Florida.
Okay. I would say I need you. I don't need you guys as close to me as a neighborhood because there's a reason why I send you guys videos in the group of like what it would look like if you were close by your homies all the time. You'd be in trouble all the time, and I feel like I'd be in trouble. Yeah. So no, I don't. No compound. Not even in the same neighborhood. I need y'all within a quick short drive.
Okay. So like a couple of neighborhoods over.
Sure,
That type of
that's
thing. But
perfect.
we're all within that.
We're all in the
close
same
distance,
city.
Right. Okay.
If I could have it my way, we're all back in Memphis.
all-
Memphis.
All cities.
No, I was really feeling the Florida part. I love being around water and a beach. Wouldn't care if we're neighbors or wouldn't care if we have a couple 100 acres of land and y'all got a spot. Wouldn't care if we're in the same neighborhood. But damn, it sucks being in Memphis not being able to kick it with anybody. I can tell you that.
I mean, I feel the same way.
Yeah, him too. Me and Jordan are the only ones who got someone there with us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's just like less vacationable destinations or whatever, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah, ain't nobody coming to vacation in Atlanta, bro.
No.
This is a vacation, bro.
I mean,
The only one ever.
I was gonna say the only one ever.
So the way that I see it, this is kind of me hypothetically speaking on everybody's everybody's behalf.
You're dripping shit everywhere. What
I
are you
think
doing?
a compound, it would have to be a large compound where we got plenty of room. I'm talking about you can see someone coming from a little bit, before someone's coming by your house or whatever. Or maybe you have gates to where like you're notified before someone. I don't want nobody, even if it's immediate family, just pulling up on me without any notice at all.
No, me neither.
But a compound that's large enough where, and I haven't even, I guess, explained enough yet, but like where each one of us have a compound, each of our compounds are for our own immediate families. To where if we want to have immediate family on it, we can. If we don't, we don't. But for me, I would like, because my mom wants to move out to Texas, she'd probably help us a lot with like grandkids and stuff. She would be somewhere on the compound, but like I said, a little far away. We got plenty of land for it, that type of thing. But I don't think all the friends should be on one compound. We're watching.
What is this, number
Top
5?
10 on ESPN.
Yo, top 10 on ESPN's fire.
Girls soccer.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah, that was nice.
What a kick from the
From the corner? Yeah, that was sick.
all the way in. Goalie had no idea what was going on.
Saw our arms go up and nothing.
Ooh,
Together.
did y'all see that?
Stuck it.
Bro, he dunked it right in the hole.
It's golf, so I don't really care. But
Oh, he didn't replay it again. What's that?
looks like a pretty light week if that's number 2. All baseball. Oh, he caught it.
Ooh.
No way. That's sick.
Bro. All right.
Cheers to what? Our 30s.
Next question.
The next question. Our 30s being super successful.
Yeah, facts.
Y'all both got daughters. At what age do y'all think y'all cool with the little boy coming to the door?
Yo, that's a good question. So what's really interesting is when you have a daughter, your perspective changes quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think most men, they like joke about what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you never really know what it's like until it's here. And that's a good question because for me, you want to be like that Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, bad boys.
Bad boys.
Yeah. What's he say? He said, "How old you is? 15. 15?
Reggie, you taking Megan out? How old is you? 15. Shit, nigga, you at least 30.
Think about this, but I think about not just the scenario with my daughter bringing a man home or a guy coming over, knocking on the door like take your daughter to prom type thing. I think about that from also a standpoint of what was I doing as a child, what is right, and also it depends on what is the nature of the event. All right, let's say, for my daughter, I obviously expect her to have emotions for, males at some point, right? She already talks about she's got a boyfriend. She's only in.
Bro, she's like what, 4?
She's only in kindergarten, not
Yeah.
even pre-K.
Yeah, she's 4,
I
bro.
don't know how she's gonna kiss a boy. She's like. I was like, whoa. So
I ain't
the
had
time
that
will
yet.
come.
I
We
ain't
have
had
to be
that
real
yet.
with that. The time will come.
Facts. That's facts.
But what is appropriate, right? 16, 17. If I had like a young, nice man, a young gentleman in my house at 16 years old, I'd be cool with it. He could hang around.
Oh yeah, I don't think I was saying that. Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be 13, 14. I don't know. That's weird.
No, where I was going was like perspective changing is like I think there's this preconceived notion of guys before they have daughters of like they're gonna be this hard ass or like no dude's gonna come around, and then when you have a daughter you realize, well, you were that boy for your wife's dad. You know what I mean? Like I was that for Allison's dad, and it was fine. You know what I'm saying? So then
We're touching on the same thing.
you start realizing that like that's just part of it, and you hope that the way that I think about it is I hope that I raise my daughter with enough kind of character and wherewithal to be able to make those good decisions. You know what I'm saying? So that like if she's choosing to spend her time with someone, that it's someone worth getting her time. You know what I mean? Yep. Because it could be, I was a hooligan, dog. She could end up walking through the door, Daddy, I want you to meet my boyfriend or this boy or whatever, and it could be like a little version of me, bro, and then we might have a real problem.
But how would you address that problem, though, looking back at yourself now?
Good question.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Bright green and, where
I'm saying, dude. I'm saying. I don't know, man. And you know what's even crazier when you think about that, and you think about the age in which that would probably happen. How rebellious is your daughter going to be? Because at that age, they're the most rebellious, and they start thinking that they know everything.
How much do you force versus how
Right.
much do you like?
Because the more you
influence?
force, exactly. Because the more you force, the more likely they are to rebel and do their own thing. But the more you try to like the approach where you try to influence,
I had that
they like make better decisions. You know what I'm saying?
on my own.
So like, it's hard to think about how you would handle that situation, because if the only thing you're gonna know is the cues that you pick up on. But I can tell you this: I wasn't the same hooligan in front of Allison's parents as I was when her parents weren't around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how do you know?
It's almost worse.
It is.
When did y'all realize that you were starting to get serious about life?
Like
And I
life,
don't mean
life
like
in
serious
general.
about life. Like, you know, that transition from where you're at now to where 5 years ago, I mean, somewhere in between, you started making a shift. And where was that point that I was like, all right, this is my, because realistically for me, my craziest shift was last year. I mean, my craziest mind shift of everything as far as growing up. But that's when I've started to live for myself more, diving into my faith more, cutting out. I just read something yesterday on social media. No, it was this morning actually that as we take 2 shots, that alcohol across the United States is going down in consumption.
I mean, it is, because we all have been talking since we got together this weekend that we all drink significantly less than we used to.
Yeah.
Just because we've taken 2 shots on this podcast doesn't mean that we're alcoholics, bro.
Yeah, but when I guess say not only just growing up, but money started coming. You know, you were able to go from living check to check to now living comfortably. When did y'all see that transition happen in life? And I'll pass it back to you.
I want you to answer that first.
So,
No, him.
is the question from check to check to living comfortably, or is it when we got serious about
When you
life
got
mentally?
when you just got serious about
I
life.
Like, I want it to be kind of grouped in, like mentally buckled down, got serious about where you wanted to put your money, where you wanted to, invest. When did you start thinking about the future as like, oh shit, like this is coming now?
So I think there was two like big steps that I made, in that direction. And for me, it didn't happen until I moved to Dallas. Before that, when I was in college at Arkansas, when I lived in San Antonio, when I lived in Memphis for a year, I was kind of still just doing like the young guy in his 20s thing. And when I moved to Dallas, it was about a year after I moved to Dallas, I watched a church sermon, and it was kind of a series. Like, they did 4 different sermons, 4 Sundays in a row or whatever.
Yep.
And it was called fantasy relationship or fantasy something. And each week was like fantasy husband, fantasy wife, fantasy relationship. And they went through all these things of like what people idolize as far as what they think that should be, and the stuff they get wrong and all that. And for me, those videos, man, and I sent them to so many people. Sent them to the group chat, like our group chat. I don't know if you were in there at that point or not, or like what, if you were or not, but sent them to the group chat, sent them to all my closest friends, some of my family, because they hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, it really made me take another step towards taking who I was dating seriously when I already thought that I was, but it sent me to another level of like what things I'm maybe looking at and taking into account as like mattering a lot that don't actually matter a lot. And so that affected my dating life a lot. And then in regards to what you were saying about investing your money right and thinking about the future and kind of a lot of things that a man needs to do as they, want to put a family together. It came a couple years after, maybe 3 years after, a couple years ago, really, when I was probably like 29, I really started thinking about where I'm investing my money, how much, trying to calculate how much I'm going to have it when I'm 50, 60, 70, like compound interest, learning about finances, looking at making a budget, Excel spreadsheets, all that bullshit. But that's what it was for me. I don't know what spurred that on necessarily, other than just like seeing stuff on Instagram and YouTube. But
I mean, to be honest, I still think I'm trying to figure out some of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like where to invest your money, where to put your money, how to grow your money passively, how to plan for the future when you got kids and think about them and their future. Like I think I'm still trying to figure that out. But like I feel like when I got serious was when I forced myself out of Memphis and I moved to Atlanta. Because when I moved here, that's when I had to level up, because I took on a lot more responsibilities, and I had a lot of folks that said that I shouldn't, don't leave, just stay here, this is home, you're good here, nobody ever said you're not going to make it, you know what I mean, or you'll come back. I did have that a couple times, like, oh, you'll come back, and in my mind I was like, no, I'm not.
You already knew.
And like, no, I'm not. And so like I had to make sure that no, I'm not never happened. You know what I mean? So when I moved to Atlanta, that's when I got really serious about making sure that I continued to level up. But what's crazy is, when you level up, most people, including myself, your lifestyle levels up too. So when you're leveling up, the more money that you're making doesn't necessarily mean all of a sudden the more money you're saving.
Lifestyle creep.
Yeah, dude, it's different.
Start
so like,
spending more.
yeah, you buy a 4,500 square foot house with a gym and an acre of property, and a big playroom for your kids and 2 living rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you do. So you're not living paycheck to paycheck, but like, just because you've leveled up in life doesn't mean you're all of a sudden stacking all this extra bread for no reason. You find ways to level up your lifestyle as well. You take on those luxuries.
How much debt you want to take on versus you don't,
and you probably shouldn't.
Payments you're okay with, or versus you're not.
And you probably shouldn't, right? Like you probably should be a little smarter than that. But like, then you just think about like all the things that you could be doing, and then you got folks like Brett in your ear telling you only live once, dude. You can't take it with you when you die. I climb trees every day. I could fall out and die tomorrow. Like you just live a little bit, dude. Just live. Have fun. And then so you got that, but then you got the other folks in your ear going, hey, like you got folks that rely on you. So if things don't work out, it's not just you that it's hurting, it's your family and the folks around you. So it's like a balance, but I would say that when it truly started to make an impact on me is when I moved to Atlanta. And then once Allison moved here, because I lived here for about 2 years, I think, before she actually moved here, because we were just dating and then we got engaged, and she didn't move here to live with me until we got married. So, and then once that happened, it was like, all right, we're going to buy a house. We're going to do these things.
My level up was, I had kids at 23. Graduating college, I knew I had to get serious, but as far as the mindset about getting serious was what kicked in gear.
That average dad doing on average shit type vibe.
This past year.
Hey, bro.
The mindset kicked in gear, but it's also funny when the mindset changes and you get a little bit more serious, you just change your pattern a little bit, then how your whole life kind of shifts a little bit as well. And you just keep taking those steps. And then, yeah, for me, I kind of had a pretty wild past few years, and now I just have clarity, So now I would say, especially since, when was it? October 26th, I got baptized, and then that was when I was just like, put my foot down and do the best I can. Opening up my mind, having clarity, moving with clarity, I guess is probably why I asked that question, because
that boy said moving with clarity.
Some people it's later.
That boy said moving with clarity.
Yeah.
Do you have full clarity?
I have I would say I have the most clarity I've ever had in my life right now.
But are you at a 10?
I would say, man, I wake up every single day and am grateful and thankful and happy for the opportunity and Yeah, I embrace it all. I would say I'm pretty up there right now. I would like to know what more is if there is more.
Yeah, facts.
Um, Meaning like like where can I get better? Because I always look for the spots to tweak. But yeah, no, I mean this past year, shit, just this past 6 months, that even was the next level up. I mean that pulled me away from doing the competition, pulled me away from drinking, smoking weed like I was, going out, really doing anything. So
Refining, like, or finding your faith, do you find that, like, so you're classifying that as part of the journey, right?
hell, isn't baptism represents like a clean, a refreshing,
Right. So that's like part of it, right? That wasn't necessarily at the start of it, because you were kind of on that beforehand,
I
right?
mean,
But
dude,
that was part of it.
I found the church I'm at July 23rd of 23, and
How did you? So that's where I'm trying to go. Like, how did you?
Well, it's like
How did you
planting a
find
seed.
that? How did you find?
I knew something in my heart was asking for something more of whatever it was. Obviously, you have free will in a lot of the decisions you make, but I knew something more had been tapping on my heart for a while, and
And you weren't sure if that was like a religious thing or not.
it was like I have nothing else to fall on, you know. What
Why not give it a shot?
what do I have? Yeah, I mean, not that I have anything to lose, but why not? You know, I have nothing to fall on right now, and I needed something to pray to. And what's Jelly Roll song? I only talk to God when I need a prayer. I didn't want that to be the story. I felt like ass every time I'd say a prayer, and it's only when I needed something. So then that started tapping on my heart. And then it just became, all right, then I found a church. Now the tapping got a little harder. And then, you know, I started making every church service and meeting people at church, and that meeting with my pastor every month. And then it just kept going and going and going. And then it got to a point where it's like, all right, you know, I want to get baptized. And so that was the point where it's like, all right, everything that I do now, every move and action that I make, the first thing that runs through my head, whether because I'm still going to make mistakes, I'm still going to fall short day in and day out, but the first thought that goes through my head is, where does this stand in my faith? You know, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to fuck up. I am.
Being a Christian, though.
Yeah, and also learning that aspect too is that being a Christian. Gosh, what is the song? Talk about broken ones or who He uses. I think that's kind of a beautiful way to putting it. Like, there is no end goal. You know, I asked my pastor this one time. Shout out to Sam. We meet probably every month and a half, and have lunch at one of the restaurants. And you know, I told him before I got baptized, but as I was in church for probably a year now at this point, I said, I still feel like I'm doing everything right. I'm not drinking right now. This is when I went like 40 days. No alcohol, no smoking, no social media. Was in the gym every day, running. I mean, I did like 70 miles in a month. I just went all in. Started jiu-jitsu, started playing guitar. Just tried all these new things, and I still felt like I was falling short. And I told him that at the meeting that we were having. And he said, well, you're making, and this is one thing that I battle day in and day out, but it gets a little bit more clear each day. He said, you're making your faith, I'm a goal-driven person. You know, I want to see a result and hit that result. You're making your faith a goal that you're gonna end up
Eventually
getting to.
achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not ever gonna happen. He said, but let me ask you this. Where were you 10 years ago? All right, so I thought about it. I'm 30 times 22. I said, shit. 10 years ago, we was downtown.
Dude, Purple Haze,
5 a.m.,
152.
6 a.m. in the morning, getting up,
Facts.
being at work by 10 a.m., like
Facts.
going crazy,
Yeah.
doing all sorts of crazy stuff, sleeping around. Like, it was crazy. And I said it, but I thought about it. You know, obviously I didn't want to be like, oh, I was doing this, but, you know, I let him know I was obviously sinning. And he said, okay. He said, what about 5 years ago? I said, well, 5 years ago, you know,
Much better than that.
I had, you know, my first child was born. I had already bought a house. I was making a little bit better money, but I was in a non-healthy relationship. I was not in church. I was still moving with sin in my way. And he said, all right, what are you doing right now? And I said, I haven't drank. I haven't smoked. I haven't been watching any TV. I've, deleted all my social media. And he said, all right, well, there you go right there. There's your answer. Like, this is not going to be an end goal. You're just going to continuously get better and better and better. So in the next 5 and 10 years, look back to where this point is. So now this is my new starting point for me. I've created a new standard, if you will, for my level of life and living. And so now I just hope to build off that. And in 5 years, be able to, talk to maybe not only you guys, but like my children about, that aspect of life. In 10 years, maybe impact some other people's lives, whatever it might be. But yeah, we'll see. But again, it's not something I'm ever gonna achieve, and that's the beautiful thing about being a Christian, is that it's the pursuit of Jesus. For me, it was honestly just recently, and I would call that later on in life. But hell, we're only 33. Saying that to an old head, they'd be like, "Oh, you got so much life to live." And
yeah, right.
I get it. Which brings me to my next thing is, man, how time is flying.
Dude, and when you have kids, my boy,
and it ain't slowing down. And then you start putting faith with time into that, and being like, man, like I can't. What is going on here?
It's crazy.
I cannot.
Safe.
I cannot get back time. You hear that from every millionaire. It's like, you are richer than I am.
Time.
You are richer than I am because you have time. You cannot. I mean, we see it as we get older. Shit, I'm sitting here, my knees hurting, bro, from bending. Right? When did this happen? And it's like, it just keeps going and going and going, and there ain't no stopping it. Unfortunately, there's no stopping it. It's a double-edged sword.
faith was kind of a big part of your journey. And what's interesting to me is trying to figure out how, or not figure out, but like understand and hear from people like how they end up either going back to that or maybe even going to that for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like for me, growing up, let's say we went to church, you know what I mean? Like occasionally. It wasn't like a ritual part of our routine. When I got into middle school, then making that transition to private school, right? And then when you make a transition to private school in Memphis, I mean, it's the Catholic diocese, or they're mostly Catholic schools.
Yeah.
So like, then you start going to mass every week. I mean, it's part of school. It's part of the program. You go to religion class and then you go to mass. So I was doing that like with school, but my parents, we were still not really going to mass on Sunday. You know what I mean? Not really going to church on Sunday. I was just doing it with school. And then, as I got older, got out of high school, and I was like, not really. I never even, like, the idea or thought of church didn't even come to my mind. You know what I mean? Not that I avoided it. I was like, oh, no, forget that. It just never even came into my mind.
You didn't have your parents trying to like tell you gotta
influence
go every
that.
Sunday,
No.
Did you have that? Did you grow up with your parents saying you should go on Sundays? Did y'all go on Sundays or no?
I grew up. So technically, I got baptized as a child. I grew up Catholic.
So did I. Yeah, same.
I grew up Catholic. We didn't go to church much. We did a few times. My mom got us in a couple times as super early on. And then, what's up, Sleepy?
You missed the whole pod. Go back to sleep.
You got anything to say?
Good night.
Wait, you about headbutted the mic.
So my mom brought us a couple, and then my dad was super big on going to like Christmas mass at midnight or something.
But like that's it. You go to Christmas mass once a year, and that's it. Yeah. So like a lot of families are like that. They're considered non-practicing Catholics.
Yeah.
They go to church on the days where they feel like the Bible tells them they have to. Easter, Christmas, stuff like that.
What turned the key to, like, in your mind think, instead of just going every now and then, even as an adult, or I don't know if you went from going every now and then to going all the time, or what your transition was, you can talk about that, but from not thinking it's something you have to do to now thinking it's important to my family.
Right. So that's where I was going. So like, then I moved to Atlanta, still not going to church. Like, I'm not going to church. Not that I had anything against it, or not that it just wasn't something I prioritized. Maybe it was part of because I went through middle school and high school being forced to go to church every single week at school, and I just didn't care about it. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like a malicious thing.
I think finding the right church is
100%. I agree with that now, but what I'm saying is like, as a young, like, adult, or, you know, like in college and stuff, like, I'm not prioritizing church. I'm prioritizing dumb shit. You know what I mean? And so, like, again, never had anything wrong with it. Had friends that were really into church and Christian. Like, that's cool. Like, awesome. Happy for you. Didn't prioritize it for myself. But what happened was, it's a fairly new thing. You get married. You have kids. And I think that's what really did it for me. Was you want to instill the right type of values in those people. And when you start really thinking about where values and, like, morals come from, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a religious thing per se, but it has to do with, like, belief and something that they can, like, use as guide rails to, like, living a good life, and not just because daddy and mommy tell me so, because that's where the rebellious thing comes in. But it has to do with, like, community, and we're all striving to live the same type of values. And I think that's where I was like, to your point, JP, something's kind of missing here. So what we did was we just tried church. We really liked it. It was great. The message was great. It was very real. Blake asked to go to church like every week now. You know, it's like when you really look forward to it, it's a whole completely different experience. And so, like, now for me and for us as a family, it's a big part. So that's why I wanted to go down that path, because I know it's a fairly new thing for you, JP. It's a super new thing for me. I know you've been on this for a lot longer than both of us have. But, like, and there's also a lot of people out there that say, you know, that have a lot of questions. And, like, the default Christian answer is like, oh, you just have to have faith. You just have to believe. You know, and that's a really hard thing for people with my type of mindset to, like, grapple with. You know what I mean? But then when you start surrounding yourself with the right community and the right people, and they start tailoring the message, like right now in church, we're in a new series called Challenge Accepted. And every single time I go to church, I feel like they're talking to me. You know what I mean?
It's a great feeling.
And it's a great feeling. It's like, whether they're talking about the Bible or reading scripture or not, it's just like, it's a good, like, reset. It's good to be surrounded by people, like-minded people that are just trying to be better and trying to live a good life and be good to the people around them. It's a good thing. And I feel like if more people leaned into that without the conception of, oh, I have to be this super religious, like, type of person that carries this old school stigma, if people would get away from that, I think many more people would enjoy actually being in church. And I also feel like many more people would live happier lives, because there's a lot of people out there that on social media, they look like they're living a really happy life, but they're miserable.
Like the alcohol aspect, one of our last few church services was about how many people are becoming Christians across the whole
Yeah,
world.
it's like trending.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's trending. And that's like a super cool thing to see, especially amongst, like, dude, I don't know about y'all, but like at our church, like that high school age group,
Yeah.
bro, is popping.
We call ours Access, 6 through 12.
We call ours, they call it the living room.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's super cool, dude, to see these kids, like, get together and spend time together and talk about life and where they're going. And then, like, just recently, you know, obviously school just got out in May. One of the things that our church did was all the kids that were graduating from, like, all the kids that were part of the program at church that were graduating high school this year, we went to that church service, and they had all of the kids' names on like business cards printed out, and they had them on all the armrests of all the chairs. So when you came in for church service that day, they were like, hey, look to your right. There's a name. That's a kid that's graduating high school this year, going on to their next phase of life. And if you can, or if you could, or if you have it in your heart to pray for that person, you may never meet them, you may never know them, you don't know anything about them, but just pray for them because they're entering that, that step from, just like going from middle school to high school. It's a pretty kind of nerve-wracking step. Going from high school to college, bro, is that's a big deal. You know what I mean? I remember what it was like, and I stayed home. You moved away, completely different. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I just thought that was really cool. And it's like little things like that, and I've actually got, I was sitting in a chair, and there was nobody sitting next to me at the church that day. So I took the name on my right and on my left, and they're on my counter, my kitchen counter, not my kitchen counter, my bathroom counter, and I look at those cards every day. And I admit I don't pray for them every day, because sometimes you just get in like the chaos of life, get in the mornings trying to get a 3-year-old ready to go to school, and you're trying to get to work, and like you just like don't think about it, and the day passes you by. But on the days where I like have that second where I look at those cards, I'm like, I need to pray for these guys.
I got a deep one, or we could just figure out some shit to riff on.
What's your deep question?
You got some type of health situation where you feel like there ain't no saving you, like it's going to be the end of life for you.
Oh man, you're going there. Okay.
And you have to write a couple sentences. It can't be like you're sitting there talking forever. You got to write a couple sentences, or you got to talk into a camera for a couple sentences, and you can only hand it off to one person. Like, what would you say, and who would you hand it to? But that's super deep, and it's kind of emotional, so we don't have to go there if y'all don't want to.
I've never thought about it, to be honest. And so I have no idea what I would say. I feel like that's one of those situations where you almost have to be in that situation for you to be able to then put words together to what you want to say and to who you want to say it to.
Yeah, obviously you would take a lot of time if you're in the real situation, and you'd whatever answer you would give now is not like, hey,
it's not your final.
This is what I.
This is your final answer.
Specific words I would say. Do you have any general gist of like where you would go with the statement, like what kind of like way you would word it, and who you would give it to?
I think right now I would give it to my kids. Yeah.
What, one person?
Oh, one person only?
Would you give it to Blake? Would you give it to Allison? Would you give it to your mom or dad? That
well, the problem is I've got another daughter on the way, so like I want to give it to both of them.
A lot of people would say you give it to maybe your wife then, and then she can like relay whatever.
Okay, that's a good answer. Okay, I like how you're thinking there. Yeah. So maybe, yeah. If I can only give it to one person, then I'm gonna give it to Allison, and then she can pass the message down.
Yeah.
But the message would probably be like, don't sweat the small stuff. You know what I mean? And that's like, I say that in the same breath that I try to remind myself that all the time. And it's hard, dude.
I don't know what I would say. I can only imagine that the message would go to my children, so that message would be given to Emily, my kid's mother. And I mean, I'm sure I'd talk about my whole family, but
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's definitely, you're bringing me some Armageddon vibes,
You want to go deep with it.